Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it start? Nobody knows. It's a revolution. Ay, Bitcoin is the one, no substitution. Ay, with Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing interview today. We got the man, the myth, the legend. We got Jiurn back, guys, for another amazing interview. We're going to be talking Inscripedia. We're going to be talking a lot what's going on. We're going to be talking about the updates that's coming. They have Marketplace 3 and a lot going on. This is a project that I think everyone should be aware about and everyone should be looking at, because this is the definition of, you know, what we want to do on Bitcoin. Bitcoin has become this cloud now, right? That's going to be around for forever. And putting putting little JPEG stuff is cool, but he's actually putting books on the blockchain. He's putting stuff that's going to be useful for the generations like 10 down the line. Like your great grandkids could potentially be reading books on this blockchain. And, you know, Bitcoin being that cloud storage, I mean, think Amazon Cloud, right? Think Google Cloud. I mean, this is going to be Bitcoin, its future. And we're excited for this here at Ordinal Revolution. And I know Jiurn is excited for it as well. So without further ado, let's bring my partner here. As always, Mr. Yagobi. What's up, buddy?
What's going on, man?
What's going on, man? So we got Jiurn back. We recently did an interview with him, but the audio got messed up. So this is a nice little fun one, getting back to him. It's really cool talking to people like him, though, a lot. So because, you know, he's a part of the bigger culture of Bitcoin. He's somebody who puts out a daily post every single day. Who I don't know what I do without it. I mean, I depend on it at this point. So.
Yeah, he's an OG that didn't show up out of nowhere. You know, he's grown his online presence as the Bitcoin ecosystem, Ordinals, Runes, and etc. has grown as well, right alongside of him. So it's just so fitting that he's released this project, which is obviously a passion project, right? You know, when you see cash grabs, you see something like just a simple low effort art project or something like that. But this is something that's deep. And I love that, you know, someone from our ecosystem community that is creating something deep and with culture in it and stuff like that. So excited for him and the future of Inscripedia.
Yeah, man. So without further ado, let's bring him in. Jiurn, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution.
Yo, what's up, guys? Always happy to be here, man. I have a lot to talk about, you know. So much has been going on in the back end, just working hard. And super excited to say what's up, like, and with Inscripedia, the whole thing, like right now, I don't know. I think this will be a bit too late, but like right now we have, like, for example, a collab with Unsanctioned Wizards, and, you know, like we've been like one thing I loved recently about like the whole written, you know, like books on Bitcoin narrative is, yeah, thank you for sharing that. So actually, it's even them. They were the one who reached out to me at first, and they were like, "We wrote a lore," and I also was like talking to them, like, "Hey, we could launch something on Inscripedia. You know, this book explains everything that happened that created the project. You know, and the guys behind it, they're like super genuine. Like, I mean, some of the other people, like, it's funny because I mean that's a running gag that the guy who paid for everything, his name is Grog. I've never been on a call with him, even though, like, hey, it's super funny, but super interesting. And now a lot of projects, they think about like sharing their lore, and, you know, like that's like a 100% written. You know, like you go on there, it's like there's no images, it's really like a book. And I think more and more projects understand that writing on Bitcoin is a great way to really promote their PFP, like the main mint, as we say, you know. So, like, I've been talking with some projects, and a lot of projects right now are looking for like marketing stunts, you know, way to really promote the project in new ways. Like that is the goal. It's an attention-driven space, you know, attention-driven economy. And now books or just like written inscriptions and like have become like a great tool to promote their project in like other ways. Now, anyone who has this book, for example, has a first come first serve spot for their lounge, for their mint, and we are going to raffle a couple of guaranteed. So that's for me a new way to kind of play with current like upcoming ordinal projects. I really love the fact that now, like books have slowly but surely really like put their hands like on really the mainstream, but we're still very, very far from where I want like them to be. Very far.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, in terms of where you're trying to go with this. And, just being connected with the community is great. I think that's the biggest thing, is being able to showcase like a project, helping them, but at the same time, building something that has substance and lasts, because the last thing we need is something that is a cash grab or, a low effort project. This obviously has been something that you've curated and worked on for a long time. So super exciting about that.
I mean, as I've shared like many times, for me, my number one goal with Inscripedia is to make books or like written inscription. Like for me, I say books because like, like you can easily think of a book. Written inscriptions as like relevant as, like JPEGs and like visual art. Like, recently I've been sharing a lot more about like my art experience. Like I just started like, a couple of weeks ago, a new show with Arto and Violeta called, like the Bitcoin Art Show. And the goal is really like to promote art. Now we have like, it's because I love the people. And yesterday we were talking about like, about it's art on Bitcoin is so much more than just JPEG. I'm a big JPEG enjoyer, but there's so much more to art than just visual art, right? And that's why like when I know that like I'm a big book collector IRL. I collect books, and I was like for me, books on Bitcoin and even on the blockchain. Like recently, like last month, we had a drop called a Christmas Carol, but it's because we basically inscribed more than 100 books, okay, at this point. And some of them, like we have like more than like 10 megabytes, okay, of books. We at one point we inscribed just 7 books, and it was a full block, just 7 books, and it was like we had to work, like with a partner to work with like the miner, because we had like a blog that was like 3.90 like 7 and the 8. We were like the 21st biggest block ever, and because just for 7 books, including book like Moby Dick, Don Quixote, like, and very, very like for me, books like for me, Don Quixote, the first ever like consider like book like or like roman in the history, like in history, like they deserve their place on the blockchain. Not only this, but most of these books, it's their first ever copy on the blockchain. And that's something sometimes people don't really understand. Recently, we've acquired inscription number 1151 and inscription number 1565. So there's super early inscription, like sub 2000. And these two are the first legally tradable books on the blockchain. Okay. It wasn't super cheap to acquire them, but for me, who is a big believer in books, and we've inscribed the first edition on the blockchain of many classics, Moby Dick, Frankenstein, many, many other books. Because I believe that these books are like very collectible items. Right now, books, like people prefer to buy upcoming collections, and new IPs. And right now, I want to create this narrative, and I know that what's the number one thing that book collectors look for, it's first editions. When you buy Pokemon cards, first edition of the base set is the like pinnacle of what you can get. In that, of course, always like collector's item and stuff. And that's why like these 2 books that we've acquired, they're like the 2 first ever legally tradable books. Okay. So like if you on the blockchain, if you believe that the blockchain will be here in, let's say, 10 years, and you believe it will be a bigger than it is right now, then these books, for example, and the title are like Romeo and Juliet, and the other is A Great Gatsby. So they're like classics also like of the English literature. So if you believe that, you know, like collectibles and like you are on the blockchain, or that the blockchain itself would be relevant, then these two inscriptions are absolute grails, you know. So those are the kind of thing that we've been, I know right now it's not the mainstream, people were not really thinking. Even the seller, he sold them to me for like the price that a sub 2000 inscription costs. I mean, maybe a bit more, a little premium, because like I wanted them quick. But right now it's not the mentality. People don't think about this. But in 10 years, when the blockchain will be super mainstream, okay, and you know, a lot of new IPs will be super popular, who knows which one, you know, Bored Ape, PUBG, who knows. Well, these IPs like Frankenstein have been working for 200 years, it's super mainstream. People will be like, hey, I want to own the first ever digital collectible. Okay, if you go on Amazon, like you can buy it, Amazon can remove it, and you cannot do anything about it. Okay, but the blockchain, it changes everything. A lot of people are buying thousands of books of Frankenstein, all of those books every day because they want to read them. Okay, but nobody cares about a digital item. Okay, you cannot own it. Okay, all of these like the blockchain is the first time that you can take a digital item, isolate it, and trade it. Okay, this has not been done before, and these copies are the first time that these IPs have been on the blockchain. So that's why for me, what we're selling is absolutely like we're like right now people don't understand it, but it's absolutely like life changing for a lot of people. Like it's absolutely another world. Like once people will understand it, they will not be able to come back. So
Yeah.
that's it. Yeah.
So I hear your point here. You know, it's really kind of on this collectible narrative, and we saw some of that in 2023 with the rare sats and these early inscriptions, which I think was brilliant, and I think that comes back. But you know, I also am a little bit in the camp of this is something that's going to take a lot of time because like when you first collected like baseball cards, like when they actually first came out in the 1800s, and they were distributed through bubblegum packages and stuff like that for free. And you know, as something got older, people were like, whoa, that you still have that, you're holding on to it. He's like, yeah, because it means something to me, and then it becomes a collectible, right? But that took from like the late 1800s to probably, you know, to where people were trading them, you know, a lot and stuff, to like maybe like the 1920s and 30s. So we nowadays with technology that can be faster. But like, what do you think? Because we've kind of gone away, the overall market's gone away from rare sats, gone away from early inscriptions. What do you think, you know, it's going to take to bring that back this bull run? And maybe it doesn't come back if that's your opinion. But when do you think it will be hot again? Like, what do you, first question is, what do you think will make this collector's market back again on Bitcoin? And if it doesn't come back this time, when will it come back?
The collectible market is, I would say, very linked to the art market. You know, like hot PFP collections are always trending in a way. You know, they're always like, oh, like if right now, I'd say the number one upcoming Bitcoin collection is Bitcoin Wizard. You know, like the 10K PFP by Mavin's Butt. That's like the big collection. You know, on sections a bit hype, even though right now ordinals are not the hottest. And what we need to bring it, of course, would be like a lot in the art community. A lot of people, what they're saying is what would bring it back would be ETH collectors, just real collectors. You know, right now it's the crypto space plays too much on people's greed, you know. And if you try to play with people's greed, you will probably win, you know, and you will win more than 90% of people easy, you know. So to do this, you'd have to create such a thriving ecosystem that anyone can win, and then you will have people that like, because right now there's not much money to be made, and if so, people are like, hey, I don't want to do something that might be really risky, even though I prefer it. I prefer to do something more mainstream, and and even though they don't care, like most like runes, most people don't really care about meme coins. They don't find it funny. They just do it because everybody else is doing it. So you'd have to create a very thriving ecosystem that everyone is winning, that is not sustainable, that is very short term, but it's like peak euphoria 2021 NFT bull run,
Yeah.
maybe early 2022. That was the only time in the NFT industry that like everybody was winning and everything was doing well. And except that before that, like the people like PFP were doing great and better than art and collectibles. And after that, and it's always been the case in this life. Like there was a little like card, Pokemon cards, soccer cards, basketball card, bull run when COVID happened.
Yeah. It was big.
Yeah, it was big,
Yeah, I remember that.
Like I love Pokemon cards and basketball cards. So like I even did those because I love these. And I remember even my father got into it, and he got cut in the bubble. He thought it would never burst, and since then we haven't, like, now there's a little bit Pokemon maybe coming back a little bit, supposedly, but I haven't heard anything about like sports cards. And the thing is, like, back then, every ecosystem was thriving, and collectibles are by definition less risky than, like very speculative assets, like, so like basketball cards, like they will always, or like collectibles / art will always crash. It's like Bitcoin. It will always, it won't go high as fast, but it won't go down as fast either. So and people right now, they really want the fast in crypto, and they want the fastest. So you have to create a thriving ecosystem that, like, it might not be 25x, but it's a 5x, and a lot of people are happy with a 5x, but right now it's a 1.2x compared to like a 3x. And people are like, I want to feed my family, whatever. I want to make money, and just not 5x isn't interesting, and they know it's not. They know that 25x is better, but they're happy with a 5x. They're like, no, 5x is already crazy. So
I want to say something real quick. So that's a great point, and that's why sometimes I think about like last cycle of 2020 and 2021 as a cycle that we shouldn't be married to, like, psychologically, because he's absolutely right. My family's in the collectible business, so at that time I was buying cards and selling them, and I'm telling you, it was inflated by anywhere between the low end at 50%, the high end at like hundreds of percent. And like once that bubble bursted, you're talking about like a LeBron rookie card, graded, good grade. It would go down, really drastically. And I think that same thing happened in NFT, but the market, in the crypto market. But if we kind of readjust our mindsets and actually look to see what's sustainable, so that didn't kill the card industry, the Pokemon industry. In fact, like, there's passionate people there. Yes, everybody was like, wow, all my cards are worth way less now because the bubble bursted, but they still have conventions all across the US right now, billions of dollars trading left and right. And that's what needs to happen with the digital collectible industry. And that's what I think, if we look, because like, me and Shizzy cover the space every day. And if we look, and I know you do too, if we look at our space, who's still here, right? Jiurn's still here. Ordinal Revolution's still here. The block runner's still here for the most part, it's not in and out, right? But they're still building their DMT thing, right? And those are the passionate people about the space, and you're building cultured people instead of, no offense to the Solana Jeets and the Ethereum Jeets that came and visited and left. So if we keep building stuff like Inscripedia, that builds culture that becomes sustainable. Now we're talking about 10 years down the road where we don't have to worry about if it's a bubble or not, because we're always going to be here. You know what I mean? So
exactly.
Could you talk a little bit about like how Inscripedia can play a role in something like that will always be here?
Yeah, very great point. That reminds me, like, my last point about like the whole collectibles, like the bubble that happened like in card industry, like and the NFTs brought real diehard fans. Like, okay, it wasn't as like post and like NFT bubble, like post Pokemon card, like sports cards bubble compared to pre. There's a lot of new collectors that sure they're down in money, but they genuinely care a lot about the industry. Those type of like really like bulls really bring a lot of like people with a lot of conviction, like right now in the Pokemon industry, for example, a lot of people are very sad that the new set, the evolution set, they're like the people buying a ton of them and reselling them just to like 3-4x, and they're like, hey, we want to collect them. Okay, we don't care about making money. We want to collect them. Of course, Pokemon is like the biggest like entertainment company in the world, and everything. But the idea is there. There's always, the more you have up and down, the more like there have new diehard fans, real collectors. And with Inscripedia, that is what we want to create. And our next idea is exactly for this. A lot of people, they're like, hey, I love the idea of first editions, but like I cannot afford this. We are selling them for like $50 at last drop for 300 of them, and that was like, because basically how we work is we're 7 people in our team. We have 5 devs, 1 accountant, and me, and we have like 3 devs. We have 1 lead dev. We have my brother, who's like also a dev. And so the thing, like, we need to pay the 3 devs, the lead dev, the accountant. My brother and I would not really pay right now. My brother is not paid at all. I pay myself like the rent. I really, and I've been paid like one time. The money we use is really to pay the devs, because we know it's really expensive. We have like we have like 2 at 4,000 US, 1 at 5,000. We just hired a new front end, and we need to pay them, right? And that was to pay them the job we had in December. But now we're like, hey, we want to create something. Also, we want to. People were like, hey, I love the idea, but I can't afford this, or I want to do something. So I was thinking, what can we do to really popularize the whole book narrative, And we had this idea of called the dollar book. So the dollar book, I haven't really talked about it. So in a way, this is alpha, guys, and it's a new type of drop that we will make twice a week, and it would and it would be like, so for every, like, for 4 weeks. So we will have 8 books, 2 books a week for like a month, and they will all cost only $1. They would on $1, and there will only be 1,000 supply. And if you get all 8 of them, you get a 9th book airdropped for you for free, and the cover would be made by a very popular artist. Right now I am talking, I'm pretty close with a lot of people in our community. I'm talking with one of my friends right now, with Arto, to really make sure that if it's not, I don't want to, but like with very big names, and like and the goal is that for $8 you can get a free book airdrop to your wallet with the cover made by a very popular artist. Okay. And we're gonna split the fun and everything to make sure everything is fair, And this idea, you can own a book. Oh, I love, Shakespeare. I love Dracula and everything. You can own it for 1 book, only 1,000 supply, And if you get all 8 of them, only $8, you can get a 9th book airdropped to your wallet with the cover made by a famous artist. Only 1,000 supply. And with that, we could have something like every month rolling. Something pretty dope. And if it's become like, and this is the dollar book idea. For $1, you can get a book. If you have all 8 of them, it will create a bit of speculation. People want the 8. You get a 9th book airdropped to your wallet with a cover made by a famous artist. That is the idea. And what do you guys think about this, for example?
Yeah, I love it. It's affordable. It's kind of a collector's game at that point. I mean, $1.
Yeah.
But the only problem is like you're paying $1, but then paying what $1.50 for a transaction fee. I think you could even go up to $5. You know what I mean? So and then or something like that. I think $1 would kind of be, not worth it. In a sense,
So how many books do you get for $1 with the current one, right?
Yeah, it would be $1, one book, $1. Like
and then the collection is like 8 total.
Yeah, like every
Gotcha.
month, like we would make like all 8 books, for example, would have something unique. Like let's say we have inscribed like around like 9-10 Shakespeare's like theater pieces. We would have 8 of them, and then the 9th we would airdrop them directly to your wallet.
Gotcha.
And the cover, this one, like if for example only 500 people have all 8 of them, then only 500. Then the 9th book, which will have the cover made by a famous artist, will have half the supply of every other book.
Yeah, but will they get to keep those books forever, or did they? Is it a temporary
it's
amount of time?
right?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it will keep it forever. It's an ordinal.
Yeah, so it stays in your wallet. So it's like a kind of basically buy to get the airdrop, and then there'd be a collector's item as well. But how would this be something that like Inscripedia is developing? Like, would it be their product, like the product of the company, Inscripedia?
Yeah, I mean, the dollar book would be like a system we would have. Like it would be like in a way, like not season, because we already have seasons, but it would be like I don't know why the word isn't coming. Like it would be like a genre, like it would be like Shakespeare,
Promo?
and then winter books, summer books, romantic, and it will all be linked to like a theme, like theme, like
Gotcha.
drop, and then it would be something we would do, to
Gotcha. Yeah, so and then they couldn't preview the book anywhere or anything like that, or like be able to see.
The goal of this is, I mean, everything has been inscribed, is available to be seen by anyone. So these books, anyone can read them. All of the books we've inscribed, the goal is that they can be read by anyone. That is the purpose. Even if somebody burns them, all the books we've inscribed until now, like more than 100 books, even if we lose them all, they can still be read forever. That is the goal. But you can not own them. That is the point. Like everyone can read them, but very few can own them.
Collect them.
And collect them. I mean, like it's like anyone can see all of, like, I mean, everyone can see the PFP, your PFP. Everyone can see the bitmap. Everyone can see the painting, but very few people can own them. Similar with like, that is the purpose, And soon we're gonna have metadata added to every book, and like they're even gonna be numbered. So if you buy the first one of the 1,000, you're gonna have number 1 embedded in the inscription and stuff like that. Like we really wanna like cultivate and like really improve the collector market right now.
Gotcha. Well, let's talk about the latest kind of features to your project, Inscripedia, right? So you have marketplace version 3 coming out. Could you talk a little bit about what that is and what people can look forward to with that?
All right, so like the marketplace V3 is one of our like biggest upcoming products, because right now I don't really like the fact that on like every time we post a book, like right now on Section Wizards, we need to wait until everything is minted out to add it on Magic Eden. Like if, for example, they were actually like numbered, like we want to very soon, every book will be numbered. So if you want to own the number 1 on Section Wizard, there's going to be a person who owns number 1, just because you want to collect them. You like on Section Wizard, you want to have a single digit. But right now on Magic Eden, you need to wait for all of them, or you cannot update them. And and it is so many things, and then you need to add them one by one, and then the artist or the author needs to add them. We want to have a marketplace in-house that everything is automatically added to the marketplace. The number, it tells you like which number you have, it tells you like everything you need to know. But on Magic Eden, it's not made for that, so very soon we want to like have it's very complicated. Like there's whole companies that their whole purpose is to build a marketplace, like Ordinal Hive and other companies like that. And I've been working for more than a year on the like Ordinal Hive, like the more than a year, and they haven't. There's some beta and stuff, but it's very hard. But we want to have a marketplace like all of the books automatically get added to it. Every book, and you can buy number 1, number 2. You can see because they're all going to be numbered. That is something we want to add very soon, and you're going to showcase them really well. Like recently, we built the second ever PSBT Launchpad. Up to now, only Magic Eden. On Magic Eden, every collection drop is pre-inscribed. You can only drop on Magic Eden if you've pre-inscribed the ordinals. There's no way, because they don't accept direct inscribe anymore after they've been like, because direct inscribe, it's very hard and like until now impossible to make it to have mempool protection. So they forced the people launching on their platform to have them all inscribed in advance, and nobody else except Magic Eden for more than a year had access to a PSBT Launchpad. That's how we call them. Everyone else, like Inscribe now, or like it's all direct to inscribe, which means you create the inscription by minting it. And we were the second ever to have it done. We like last month, our drop with a Christmas Carol in the first edition of Christmas Carol, it was using a PSBT Launchpad. Like we've been, and it took us a month to do it, and that was very quick compared, like a month and a half even. Like we had like 2 devs full time working on that, and the third one where we were working on the standard and stuff. Like it's very complicated stuff, and a lot of people don't really understand this. They're like, oh, it looks like a normal Launchpad, but it's completely different. It looks similar because at the end you mint and you get an inscription, but it's completely different. And we were the second. Now Trio has a PSBT Launchpad, but now we're like 3 people. Like it's very crazy. Like it's, and that was very, like for us, because a lot of work, but people don't understand that because they don't see the difference. But the devs, they know, and for that we're really proud. We know what, now we're working on the marketplace. We have also like a point system. We have many things upcoming because our goal is to make writing like relevant on the blockchain. A lot of people are like, hey, I love your product, Jiurn. Book on Bitcoin, so nice, but nobody really cares. And it's my job to make people care. It's my job to give incentives to people. That's why I'm at first, why I did those first editions is because I was like, people want to collect, people like speculative assets. So I will create something, first editions, blah, blah, blah. And it didn't turn out as well as I thought it would, but still not bad, Now we're really working on that on a $1 book thing, and soon we're gonna have and create incentives for people to care about it until they like the flywheel effect and becomes just at some point kind of mainstream. Once you're in the mainstream, it's easier, but still work to be done always. But the goal is I want people to be like, hey, I'm launching a book. And people are like, oh, super dope. And they're like as excited as if like a visual artist dropped something. That is my goal. I want authors to be as well seen as visual artists, or like I want the same thing with any other type of art. There's so many other type of art. Like there's music. And people right now, they're like, Violetta was doing a really good job. But the other type of, like you said, like, and Yagobi, like your point is relevant. Like, can everyone else read it? Is like music. A lot of people, they care about like the streaming, experience. They don't like on Spotify. We don't own anything. We just experience the music, which for me is valuable. I have a Spotify account. I listen to music, but a lot of I've talked yesterday with a couple of musicians, and they were like, nobody likes Spotify because first, like the musicians get fucked. That I think a lot of people know this. And as a musician, they were telling me we prefer collectors than going on than streaming. For them, one NFT sold is the equivalent of like 75,000 streams. Okay, for them, for example, and collectors is a whole different thing. Like a lot of people care only about the experience, about like listening the music, but a lot of people also soon with Web3, the main for me change that Web3 brings to the digital world is ownership. Now we get to own all of this, and we still have those habits. Why would I own the music? We used to own it back then with the vinyls and CDs and everything. Now we've lost all of that. We don't own anything anymore. If Spotify, YouTube goes down, we lose access to all that music. But soon we're going back to music ownership. We're going back to like owning the art that we really like because of the blockchain, and that's what we're working for. So yeah. And Inscripedia is working really hard on making written inscriptions, writing, like literature popular on Bitcoin again. But not even on Bitcoin, on the blockchain in general, because books aren't very more popular on Ethereum or Solana, It's very hard to beat the dopamine given by the meme coins,
Yeah, 100%. But it's, in the future, like, I think you are right. Like, I think it does get back to an area of where we're all collecting again, right? It's going to get to a point where people are just like, the money's kind of washed up again. And now it's just kind of, people like want to hold stuff for the reason of holding it. And what Inscripedia is kind of bringing to us right now is not only can you go to the library and read all these for free, but you can actually own these and actually, get liquid if you wanted to, or potentially hold them all, right? I mean, I think that's what people want to do. And when you go to people's houses and you see bookshelves, right? They're not holding these books to sell them again one day. I mean, maybe there's one or two that they do, but in the end of it, they just want that digital that ownership of having that forever and being able to pass that down from generation to generation.
Yeah, and right now we are so early, okay? And that's something that people, they're like, hey, it doesn't feel like a book. Like for me, one of the, like Inscripedia, we have a lot. Like I want to make Inscripedia the Spotify for books that genuinely helps and like favors artists. I want to create a platform where you can just go on it and you can read all the books. There's so many, like right now, today, 50% of the manga industry goes to pirates. The manga industry is worth $7 billion, and half of it, a bit more than half of it, goes to pirates. Because if you read mangas, it's very likely that you read it online and through scans. It's very popular. Or anime, you go on like there's a website called Hi Anime that has 3 times more people, more views than Crunchyroll, the number 1 anime streaming service, and it has more streaming than Disney Plus. Wow. Hi Anime, okay? It's the pirates have, like, right now, music, there's much less music streaming because of Spotify and really great alternatives, but books, there's not. If you want to read a book right now, you're probably gonna have to go either to the library, which is like 20-minute walk. You need to go. My card is expired. Blah blah blah. Or you buy it on Kindle, which is you need to have a Kindle, or you not buy the hard book, which costs $20. Most people don't want this. They don't. They want to read the book, so the manga will read it online. Even the book industry has a lot to work on. Even the Kindle experience is so bad. Like I don't like when I read my books in real life. I still to this day read a lot IRL because the digital experience is not great. Kindle is owned by Amazon. Amazon has 20 other services and products that are more profitable than Kindle, So it's normal. They don't really care about it that much. It's just a normal thing. You read it. It doesn't feel like you don't have a fourth of the fun you have when you read a book, And nowadays you read a book because you want your eyes to take a break of the screens, It doesn't help because you're still on a screen. There's so much that can be done. And I want to really with Inscripedia, there's so much to be changed. in the like literature industry, in the book industry, you know, the Kindle needs to be improved. You need to create an experience that is equivalent, as in, you know, pleasure as reading a real hardcover book. And we need to create a website that, you know, anyone can just read a book, and we can really reward the authors by, you know, like a Spotify for books or something that can be done, so like the pirates have much less to play with, because there's an alternative so great that, you know, why, like, most people would choose that one instead. There's so much to be done. So Inscripedia, we were very early, and understand it's not exactly what everyone wants. But one day, 10 years from now, when you will remember at how Inscripedia used to suck compared to how it is right now, it will be fun. You know, it will be like when you think about the first cars 100 years ago, they sucked. Okay, and now you think, oh well, we all had to come from somewhere. You know,
Horse
like,
and buggy.
yeah, like, you know, and at some point you like, for me, my books, like some of the books I own are first editions, they're not as good as the comic book nowadays. I collect more comic books. The first one were like more rough, they were not drawn as well, you know. Now they're like computer, and still the fact that these were like genuinely like hand drawn, and the guy like didn't have any computer, it was not as well, the cover, like the wasn't as well done as today. That's what makes it precious. The fact that it's not as good. We know this.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, sure, it's not as good as nowadays, and that's why it's precious. That's why I like it. It's authentic. It's like now it can hardly more authentic than what we were building. Okay, in 10 years, my goal is like we're gonna revolutionize the whole like Kindle and like book industry digital, because we are not going more physical. We're going more digital, and right now, books, literature is the only art form sold more IRL in real life than digital, because the digital experience sucks. Okay, the Kindle sucks. There's no website that can be used to read a book. You want to read a book right now, it is only illegal websites. Okay, like there's very few legal alternatives. It's so bad, and that's what we want to do with Inscripedia. Okay, first, like we want to revolutionize the whole literature industry. So we just started.
Yeah, absolutely amazing, man. What you guys are building is awesome. It's been a really fun episode. I would love to give you kind of your last words to the audience. You know, where to come find you, or just anything really. Anything. The time is yours.
I mean, so yeah, my name is Jiurn, founder of Inscripedia. If you want to like support us in any way, if you want to like just follow in Inscripedia, the name is right there, Inscripedia or Jiurn. My handle is at Jiurn, at Inscripedia. If you want to support us in any way, just go on Inscripedia and please, you know, buy a book. There's so many authors right there. Like now, at the top left corner, that's done by my friend. Ooh, no, okay. Or like,
I'm sorry, up here.
library of the book there is done by my friend Sterling Mullery Archer. Like he wrote this fiction story. Like he's like, there's so many authors on Inscripedia that people don't really know, because the marketing isn't done very well, because it's so different. And like, if you want to help us, it's a 20-page. I read the book, and it's free. You know, it's free. Just go on there, mint one, and don't forget to connect your wallet. Of course, we need to like you need to connect your wallet, and then if you want to like experience, like like some people, yeah, like it's, you know, like Sterling Mullery Archer. There's so many authors out there that have, you know, like brilliant, great things, and I do understand that the marketing is different because it's hard. You don't really see all those books, but it's all there. And just want to support us, support the artists that we have on our website. You know, so look, bam, that I accept the fee. Okay, so dollars.
That should come up down here. $22. Confirm. And that's it.
Yeah, I mean that was pretty easy. I mean, right now, okay, so the book is $15. I don't know why it shows that free, but like,
Yeah, I was wondering that. I was like, okay,
I was
yeah,
like, it says $15. That's weird.
Maybe get the dev on the phone real quick after this.
Yeah, well, actually, I have to text them. I was like, I do know like they're like Sterling Mullery Archer is built. I love that name though. He actually inspired himself from a Sterling Mullery Archer. Like, it's so long to say, but it's so funny. That's a whole other story. But yeah, if we have other actual free books if you want, or that one is great. Also the auction. And And if you want to go just on it, we have free books. Go on there, read them. Don't even need to buy anything. Just read them. Okay, that's a goal of Inscripedia. Like the book of Sterling is free. If you couldn't afford it, just go on there and read the book. We've made it so you can read it, and now we're improving. So and just tell your friend about Inscripedia. Also, would mean the world. No need to pay anything. Just read, share the book that you like, and tell your friends about it. We're just starting. I will revolutionize the literature industry in the digital. Give me some years though, but I will do it. All right.
Yeah, and if I was someone who had a book, wrote a book, and I would love to inscribe it, what do I gotta do?
I mean, you just go on Inscripedia. We have like in terms of your book, you just go on there and super simple. Like if you're not taking a little look over there, you can inscribe. And there, if it's one-on-one collection, it's so easy. You just put your book there, title, author, genre. If you want to have a cover like Web 2, like just show synopsis, like address, submit. That's the only thing you pretty much have to have. If you have a collection, if you go like at the top, collection on the top there, then like if you have 3 books in your collection, different rarity, like we've done everything, so it's extremely simple for you to do it. It's extremely like we've made it so like my 69 years old dad can do it. Like it's super simple. Like for me, accessibility, frictionless is the way to go. It's like the only way to really work when you build something. All right.
I love it. Yeah, man. Thank you so much, Jiurn. I really appreciate you, man. And when you guys have updates, please reach out. We'll do another one.
Of course, brother. Now, thank you so much, guys. I love you. So see you guys soon.
All right.
See you, man.
Take it easy.
Absolutely amazing as always. Jiurn's someone in the space when he reaches out, I definitely want to get him on every time. He's just an OG. He's somebody, I put up there with Casey and Raktoshi and Leonidas and Trevor and stuff like that. He's definitely a part of that group in the eyes of just being the top tier for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Like I mentioned before, he's one that you want to listen closely to what's going on in our space specifically. And he's a passion guy. Like he has passion about reading, literature, and writing. And so excited to get him on here. But we want to thank you guys that, for hanging out with us for almost about 50 minutes. We hope that you learned something today. I think today's episode was definitely deep in culture, and we're going to see a culture grow from here. So if you wouldn't mind checking out our partners, we would greatly appreciate that, as it allows us to continually do what we love to do each and every day, including you guys watching us. So Emblem Vault is going to be the interoperability tool for the Bitcoin Layer 1 ecosystem for assets, ordinals. They're going to be able to jump your ordinal from Bitcoin Layer 1 to Abstract to Merlin chain, multiple EVM chains, and Solana as well. So look out for that feature that's coming very, very soon. They also have their Rune, the Emblem Vault keys, and that TGE is later this year, but you can actually participate in trading the NFT, which is an EVM NFT. It's going to be available on OpenSea and their marketplace very, very soon, and their Emblem AI layer that will be out with more information coming to you guys. So you can learn more at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace of the Bitcoin ecosystem. You can place bets on their marketplace. All you need is an Xress wallet and some Bitcoin, and you can transfer or deposit your Bitcoin on their marketplace in 6 blocks. Once you do that, you can place your bets, freely there. And then also they will have the create your own markets very, very soon. So people like me, you, anybody can create their own market, and you'll be able to earn 1.5% on the total volume for those markets. So look out for that. You can learn more at betbtc.win. And BitPerp, big announcement coming out tomorrow, the 16th, I believe. They are a perps and leverage DEX for the Bitcoin ecosystem. You're going to be able to trade synthetic versions of runes, BRC20s, I believe, as well, and other popular tokens in other ecosystems on their platform. They're gonna have a paper trading competition on testnet for Botonics. Look out for that information. You can learn more at bitperp.io. And then Fluid tokens, the UTXO wizard devs that we always speak about. They were the first to introduce staking vaults for retail users on Bitcoin Layer 1. They're gonna have a bridge from Cardano to Bitcoin and vice versa that they're gonna be working on personally and building. And if you are a founder of an Ordinal collection or you etched a rune and you want your user or holders to be able to earn by staking, reach out to Raul, the CTO at Fluid Tokens. If you can't get in touch, reach out to us. We'll try to get you hooked up with him. And you can visit fluidtokens.com and click on the Bitcoin logo to learn more about their Bitcoin side. And then Merlin Chain, your #1 scaling solutions for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you're a builder on L1, you want your protocol to be a bit more flexible, fast, and seamless, you can reach out to Merlin Chain's builder team. You can apply for a builder grant. Also, they have great builder support there. And retail users, if you want to swap like you do on Uniswap on Merlin Chain, you can do it on merlinswap.org. And then don't forget about our integrated partners as well, guys. Foxy, which is building the metaverse on Bitcoin called the Bitverse, and their first-person shooter game called Clan Wars should be ready very soon. We're going to be live streaming that once it is. And then Ordinal Hive is your aggregator Ordinal marketplace. You're going to find the cheapest Ordinals on Bitcoin Layer 1 and Layer 2 as they aggregate from all the marketplaces there. They also have trader tools available for you guys very, very soon as well. We thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. You guys wouldn't mind checking out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering the space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the #1 VPN. That's Nord. Don't be traveling the internet without a VPN, guys. It's dangerous. It's stupid. You're actually giving your IP address to these websites, what eventually can get your address. We all use sketchy sites. It's kind of what we do here. We mess around. We mess around and find out sometimes too soon. But use a VPN. Use that security. It's $2.99 a month using our 70% discount. Check it out here at ordinalrevolution.com. Also, tickets 2025 Las Vegas. We'll both be there. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. Guys, it's Bitcoin. It's Vegas. It's going to be absolutely insane. Get out there. Get the hotel. Get the tickets. You can do everything through our site right here. And if you guys need merch for that event or any event, NFT Paris is coming up as well. Use our store, hit our store tab. I'll take you to some of the best crypto merch I've ever seen because it's our stuff. It's Ordinal stuff. And so check it all out here at ordinalrevolution.com. We appreciate you guys. Just remember, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. And until tomorrow.
Peace.
Ordinal Revolution. Let's go.